Yeah, we back. All right. So I've been gone for a while. I haven't done Aries Lounge in a minute. The indie show has been on vacation uh because of you know personal stuff. If you with the fam and you've been rocking with us, you kind of know what's going on. Uh Man, I haven't had time to really jump into everyday life conversations in a while. And this is a perfect opportunity. I was actually wanting to go live at 8, but I had to go handle some business. I had some meetings and I've been tied up. But I was like, I did not want to have another week go by. And I don't jump on and just kind of, talk to y'all, man. Like give y'all some content. Big shout out to everybody that signed up on Patreon, everybody that's been supporting us through Patreon, or if you've been buying the merch, you know what I'm saying? We got merch on deck, vvcmerch.com. Everybody that's just been financially supporting us because this company costs. Even with us doing mostly virtual, it still costs a hell of a lot of money. So, like everything that y'all donate or that you sign up on the Patreon or you buy some merch, all of it helps to keep everything going. So, I want to make sure that I'm giving y'all that content. You know what I'm saying? We were used to doing like 3-4 days a week, you know what I'm saying, on a regular. And now, Black Nerd Podcast is really the only thing that's kind of consistent right now. So I just wanted to make sure I was like, yo, let me get out here. And there's so much stuff to talk about. It's so much stuff to talk. And I'm so happy that I have, this platform where I can just get on here, talk some trash. Now I sent the link out to the homies. Hopefully some of the homies will jump on. If not, I ain't tripping. You know what I'm saying? So if you want to have some conversation, hit me up. Hey, I'm looking at the chat. So if you got a question or if you got a comment, man, hit us and hit me in the chat. Let me know you there. But all right, so I got a few things to talk about. I was on Twitter early today and I saw something about like, yo, I did not know Will Smith was so in these streets. So we gonna talk about Will Smith's street exploits. The slap that was heard around the world uh with Big Willie laying hands on Chris Rock was not the only time Will Smith put his hands on individuals and had potential legal implications to it. So we're going to get to that. Kanye just had a whole cell phone conversation with Diddy. That was crazy. I've got the footage. So we're going to get into that. Diddy and Kanye having conversation is wild. Like it's wild. I can't wait to play that for y'all. Shorty from In Vogue. I mean, the whole world is weighed in on it at this point, but hey, I figured I'd give y'all my 2 cents. And look, if you don't want me to talk about Shorty from In Vogue, just say, yo, get it out of here in the chat, and I won't even go into it. But hey, and then Dreamville Festival has just announced their new lineup for the spring. Dreamville is going to pop off, I think, again in April, as it did a few years ago when I went. And the lineup is pretty amazing, man. I'm quite surprised. And we've got a few other things to talk about. I've got a bunch of clips. So, I'm just going to hang out with y'all. Look, I got me some tea. You know what I'm saying? I got my little hookah joints, my little Tyson hookahs. So, and I ain't got to go to bed for another hour or two. So, like, I'm just going to kick it with y'all, man. We're going to have a good time. We're going to chill. I might even play some music. I don't know. We don't know what's going to happen. But while I am here, what I will tell you to do is sign up on Patreon. You know what I'm saying? Patreon.com/VVC Life. If you sign up on Patreon, we got a free level. But we also have tons of content for at least $5. At the lowest $5 a month, you'll get access to all of the VVC Life magazines. You'll get access to the VVC Life magazines. You'll get access to all of the mixtapes. You get access to a bunch of other production content if you are a podcaster. We have different things, and we even have stand-ups. We got tons of stuff over. I mean, when I say thousands of hours of exclusive content just behind the paywall, we have different pieces of our 24-hour live stream on there, from the stand-up to the VVC Cypher, a bunch of stuff, man. So just go there, $5, keep you entertained for hours. We even have group watch of movies, and we got like at least 30, 40 of them joints on there. So you get that tons of movies, man. You can throw it up on the TV and kick it and watch a movie and watch it with us as we, drink and tell jokes. And you can see me go from completely sober to completely smashed drunk and enjoy a movie at the same time. What a bargain. What a steal. So I think I'm gonna start with this one thing that I actually know. What do I want to start with? I don't know what I want to start with. There's so many things we could get into, man. Um, let's see. So let me see what I got down here in my all right. So let's start with some easy stuff. Excuse me. All right. The last and final Dreamville Festival. Our boy J. Cole announced earlier this year, or is either late last year, that he is only doing this last Dreamville Festival, and Dreamville Festival will not continue after this. This also came maybe 6 months to a year after the announcement that pretty much all of the Dreamville artists would be released from their contracts. So currently, right now, Earth Gang is not signed to Dreamville. JID is not signed to Dreamville anymore, and I think all of them have been dropped. So I'm not exactly sure, but either Dreamville is shifting into another form, meaning that it might be moving away from being a record label, might be shifting into like a management company more so. He just had the whole, Dreamville podcast come out and all that stuff like that. So it's not like Dreamville is going away, but I think he might be reforming the company to become a different entity and maybe moving away from being a home for artists and maybe just being representation. I think that would be the smartest idea for him moving forward, instead of him taking on all of the financial risk of trying to get these guys famous. Hey, I can set you guys up. I can put you in the door with some opportunities. You get your cut, I get my cut. I feel like that's a much more manageable situation. A lot more drama and headaches to deal with, because now you got to maintain these guys day to day, but it's still a cool way to go. But anyway, off of that, the Dreamville Festival. This lineup is so dope. It makes me kind of want to go. Kind of. I went in 2023. Mixed reviews. We'll talk about that in a few. But this makes me want to go. After me not having that good of a time the first time, this lineup is so lit that it makes me want to spend another $300 and go again. That's how much I love this lineup. So you got Lil Wayne, main stage on Saturday. What? He's the headliner. Then you got the Hot Boys and you got the Big Timers. Do you know how crazy that is? Do you know how much I would love that set? I that excited. I want to see the Big Timers. All I want to do is sit around and listen to the Big Timers records. Who wouldn't want it? Yo, we getting Manny Fresh and Birdman together for a Big Timers set. Do you know how crazy that is? That's crazy. My old ass would have a ball. Hot Boy set. Crazy. Lil Wayne set. Nothing else to be said. Fire. But let's move on. 21 Savage. I don't know, maybe more than 2 21 Savage songs, but I love 21 Savage. I think his set will be fire. But let's not even worry about it. You got Party Next Door. Don't know any Party Next Door songs, but he's cool. But we got Luda. We have Luda. Ludacris is worth the price of it. Big Timers and Ludacris is worth the price of admission by itself. I'm gonna get into why I'm not going, but those two, the Timers and Ludacris, is worth the price of admission by itself. I don't want to see Ari Lennox. Sorry, saw her last time. She sucked. Don't want to see Chief Keef. I don't even know a Chief Keef song. Oh, what you don't like, or what it like, or whatever it is. That's the only one I'm saying. Keisha Cole. Would love to see Keisha Cole. Would love to see Ab Soul is performing. I love Ab Soul. J. Cole sucks balls. Don't want to see J. Cole, but I do want to see Tim's, my guy, Tim's, and Erykah Badu back to back, bro. Is that how we doing it? Erykah Badu and Tim's, Erykah Badu and Tim's, back to back, and then you got my dog. You got my dog BX the Plug, bro. BX the Plug. Big X, excuse me. You got my guy Big X the Plug on. This is a fire weekend. So shout out to them, man. Yo, to end this series of festivals, I think that is a phenomenal lineup. It's a beautiful way to send this off with great energy. The reason why I don't want to go back, the first time I went, I thought that I could bring chairs. So I put a chair, I drove down, I jumped in my Camaro, packed my bags, and drove down to North Carolina, North Kakalaki. I had my chair down there, what I'm saying, my lawn chair, my fold-up chair. I had my, I had my snacks and my goodies. I'm like, we gonna go to the festival, you know what I'm saying? Got my little Crocs, you know what I mean? Got my Salehi Crocs on top of that. I got me some brand new Salehis. So I get down there, my cousin was like, why you got that chair? What you mean? I'm like, I ain't standing up for no 16 hours. She was like, bro, you can't bring no chairs into the festival. I'm like, nigga, what? Was like, and then I went to the website. You can bring a what do they call it? You can bring a cloth, a towel or something to sit on, but they don't want you to bring no chairs into the facility. Do you know how crazy that is? Because if people think like, yeah, you can just sit on the ground, it's grass. Yes, it's grass, but there are 100,000 people walking on that grass. So the grass doesn't say grass long. The grass turns into mud pretty quickly. And at that particular year, it was kind of raining a little bit. So the ground was a little soft. Even though it got hot and it kind of solidified, there was still a few areas that was kind of muddy. And once again, you throwing down a beach towel or whatever you putting down on the ground, there's still 100,000 people in there, literally walking around. And a lot of these niggas is idiots. So you got your towel down, you trying to cuddle with your girl, or you trying to get comfortable and do your 1-2 thug step. Next thing you know, a dude walking all over your shit because niggas is high and drunk and not paying attention. And then they want to try to play tough because they in front of their boys. It was just like, bro, it's not my vibe, bro. And it's these young kids, bro. So they just assholes. And then like at one of the nights, it got late at night. So, people smoking, they doing all type of drugs. It was a very, very drug-filled event. And I ain't really on that type of time. I had a couple of drinks. I had 2 drinks. The first one was 25 and the other one was damn near 30. And I'm not saying that was including tip. I'm saying that's how much the drink cost. We ain't even got to the tip yet. So $50 for 2 watered down alcoholic beverages. Nah, bro, I could have got 2/5 for that amount and been drunk off my ass the entire weekend. So I couldn't have a decent chair to sit in. I had to sit on the ground. The drinks is hella high. The food was fire. I ain't gonna lie. There was some good food there. Some good food. I had food from like 5 different spots because like I was there for Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Or was it just the 2 days? Or was it Saturday and Sunday? So I know I went there multiple days. So, you know what I mean? I had something early in the day because I got there like around 12 or 1. And then, you eat kind of like your breakfast and then you got a little midday something. You be trying a little stuff while you moving around, watching stuff. And I mean, that was pretty much it. And like most of the artists, the younger generation, they trash. Straight trash. Straight performances, trash. You can see that they're insecure. You can see that they're scared. You can see that they're uncomfortable on stage. They're not exuding confidence. They're not commanding the crowd. They kind of like don't even want to interact with the crowd. They just kind of like, you ever see somebody perform and are trying to ignore the crowd? That was like so many different artists that was doing that. They were just coming out and just performing like, and they would just run off stage. Like Ari Lennox was a prime example of that. Like You would have thought somebody had a gun pointed at her off stage the whole time. She was like scared to death. And I'm like, this is your record label's festival. Like, this is technically your home crowd. Like, why wouldn't there was so many people there for her when she just didn't seem comfortable, didn't feel comfortable, didn't look comfortable. Like, she made me uncomfortable with the way she was looking. Pretty crazy. But anyway, let's move right along. What do we got for y'all? You know what I mean? Now I found this video on YouTube.
We're going to talk about a more ideal dating model.
Boom. I thought this was some really dope information my man threw out here. So like, I want to get into this and then we're going to talk more about it. So let my guy get his talk on.
Model than traditional for black people, because the traditional dating system was built on white wealth and government handouts that excluded us, right? So this means regardless of what we pick, 50-50, 100-0, none of those are going to work because black people experience economic theft, unpaid labor, and social instability at higher rates. So we need a system that prioritizes fairness, stability, and collective power in a relationship. So I call this the Black Legacy Model. It's a framework designed to counteract systemic barriers, redistribute labor fairly, and build generational wealth for us. Because black love can't thrive under a system that wasn't made for us. So here's the first core pillar: financial partnership. It's not who pays what. Here's why the traditional model fails. Black men have been locked out of wealth building, right? Redlining, mass incarceration, job discrimination, and black women had to work and run households, double labor with no recognition, and that wasn't sustainable. Right? White couples succeed because they inherit assets. Black people often inherit struggle. Here's where the legacy model fixes it: income-based contributions. Whoever makes more pays more without resentment, period. That's the end of that discussion. Economic flexibility. If one partner is in career building mode, the other one provides stability. But the goal is long-term balance, right? Asset accumulation over consumption, right? Stop the paycheck to paycheck cycle. Prioritize home ownership, investments, and life insurance. But financial transparency and education. Talk about money openly. No more financial secrets or struggling in silence, right? No one should feel like a provider or a burden. We are building together, right? This is a building together. The second pillar.
All right. My man is cooking. You understand me? My guy is cooking right now. So let me make a couple of points. You know what I'm saying? Hold on, let me see what's going on. People are kind of hitting me and I'm trying to see what's good. Okay, nothing important. People just nagging me for nothing. So let me put my phone on vibrate. I apologize. So let me jump here side by side with my guy right quick. This guy's cooking with grease. Okay, so the number one thing I want to start with, and yes, I know my teeth are yellow. That's crazy. Number one thing I want to start with is being intentional about having a plan for the future, whether you're with a life partner, meaning that you're getting married or you're getting with a team of people. Super important. And then, like you said, we have to work as a team. We both have to contribute. And if we know, I mean, everybody, it seems like a lot of black people I know have been sold a bill of goods that just work hard. Don't worry about the money. And that was something I don't have really any regrets in my life. I have a couple. And it's not really regrets, but it's just things where I was just like, man, if I had thought about this, you know, whatever, is people kept telling me, don't worry about the money. Worried about building your craft, worry about learning, you know, worry about getting experience. Like, don't make it about the money, because when you make it about the money, it gets all messed up. Wrong. 1000% wrong. Make it all about the money, because without money, you can't learn sometimes, because access to certain information. Yeah, you can get out here and gain experience, but a lot of people aren't giving out information. And the beautiful part about this generation is that information is being shared because people are trying to use that information to grow. So you're getting inundated with information of all types now. But 20 years ago, it was hard as hell to find out about finance or investments or this. Plus, we didn't have apps and smartphones to get us where we need to go. So, like, you know, we were all, well, not we were all, but me personally, I spent more time trying to become proficient at first being a producer, second being an artist, and then both of them together, and then trying to run a label with no money, and then, you know, starting a radio station with no money and no experience and no knowledge, and then spending 10, 15 years learning a bunch of stuff. Yeah, I've learned a ton of stuff. I've become super professional and proficient. But guess what happens? You become an expert. People expect you to have money. So that, you know what I mean? When you step into these different rooms, you can dress a certain way. You can talk a certain way. You can take certain risks, because when you're in business, people want you to just take risks. They don't want you to just take risks with their time. They want you to take risks with being able to invest. So by not having money, there were a lot of rooms I couldn't get into. I didn't dress alike. I didn't, I didn't move the way they moved. And when you got money, you kind of talk a different language. So like there were a lot of things that I wasn't able to access. You know what I mean? So like the only thing I could say is that, now, if you are a photographer, I'm not saying you bought the camera on Monday and now you're trying to charge people for photo shoots on Tuesday. That's not what I'm saying. What I am saying is that have a plan for the future. So you get the camera on a Monday, you spend the next 6 months to a year taking photos for anybody and everybody. And if somebody says something to you at some point of, you'll come to this party and take a couple photos, you be honest. Hey, bro, I'm not an expert, but look, throw me 50. Don't make it crazy. Throw me $50. Throw me $100. You know what I'm saying? I'll come and do some photos. Hey, this ain't going to be the best thing in the world, but hey, I'll do it. Always keep the thought on your mind of, we got to turn this into a business. And how do we do that? How do I slowly get to that? Because the reason why you want to do a lot of stuff for free in the beginning is because you want people to at least give you the opportunity to try to do stuff. Try to become better at taking photos, editing photos and stuff like that. And getting around people and volunteering in the beginning is a great way to get a lot of on-hand experience. You learn what to do, what not to do in certain events, what equipment that you need to have, and if you're charging people, then, money comes with expectations. And if you can't meet that expectation, you put a sour taste in potentially great customers' mouths to where they don't want to deal with you no more, no matter how good you get over time. You know what I mean? If you get to charging somebody $200 and $300 and you screw up some stuff, I ain't never talking to you again. And I'm probably going to curse you out. And we might end up scrapping in the streets. So anyway, let me get back on point because I'm getting off track. The point I love this young man is making is plans. And when you find your partner and you fall in love, it's like, you building something together. And it's not just about building a life and having some kids, but it's like you have a plan for the future. Go ahead.
Is the redistribution of labor, fairness over gender roles, right? Here's why the traditional roles fail Black couples. Black women do more unpaid labor, housework, childcare, emotional labor, even when they work full time. Black men are expected to financially provide even when the system puts them at a disadvantage, right? That kind of creates an emotional tension. But here's how the Black legacy model resolves this. Labor is shared, not assigned by gender. If you live there, you clean there. If you eat, you cook sometimes. Emotional labor is recognized and reciprocated, right? So if she listens to your struggles, listen to hers. If he needs reassurance, give it too. It really is just about helping each other. No one partner is overworked while the other coasts. Balance is what creates longevity. It is not your feelings, right? And this is also another thing, that childcare is a partnership, not a favor. A father isn't a babysitter, he's an equal parent. We got to start actually just talking about the level of accountability we need to have given how far we've, gotten. The third pillar is community and family investment. This is the village approach, right? Here's where the American model failed us. White families accumulate wealth through generational support, right? Inheritance, business connections, housing assistance, right? But Black couples are expected to do everything alone, often while supporting extended family, right? The reverse. Here's how we fix this. Okay, family and community support. Raising kids ain't just on the parents, grandparents, aunties, and trusted friends contribute. Group economies, pulling money for investments, real estate and business ventures, right? Elder and childcare strategies. Instead of relying on expensive outside help, Black families can create in-home support systems, right? If we move like a community, we stop struggling like individuals. If we move like a community, we'll stop struggling like individuals. Do you get it? And here's the fourth pillar: career and business flexibility, wealth over wages. Here's why 9 to 5 keeps us stuck, right? Black people are paid less for the same work, promoted slower, and less likely to inherit the business, right? We have the work till you die mentality, and it keeps Black men and women exhausted with no long-term gain. Here's the truth, right? Instead of just working jobs, Black couples should build businesses and assets together, right? Skill-based labor sharing. If one person is great at managing money and the other person is great at networking, both contribute in ways that build wealth. Career growth without straining the relationship. One partner should never feel like their dreams are a financial risk to the family. That should never happen. A Black couple should be a wealth building team, right? Not just two people trying to pay bills together, right? But not every city supports Black couples equally. Okay, so some places have better opportunities, lower costs, more Black wealth potential, right? So Atlanta, Charlotte, Houston, DC, Detroit, You got options. Like you can actually pull this off, right? But there are some cities that are really bad for black couples to try to develop in and resist systemic barriers, like New York, San Francisco, LA, Boston. The environment you build in matters, right? Choose a city that allows you to thrive, not survive. Because black couples aren't surviving, right? Like we can talk about how black couples aren't thriving, but if I point out a dead animal on the side of the road and complain that he's not thriving, what were my expectations? So here's the final blueprint, how the Black legacy model works in action. Build an economic partnership first, right? Romance second. Money stress kills relationships. Get on the same page financially early, right? Balance labor fairly. No one should be overworked. Household chores, what's the name? Child care, emotional labor should be distributed, not dumped on one person. Create financial safety nets. Life insurance, emergency savings, multiple streams of income. This is just to avoid survival mode, right? Like, this is just so y'all calm down. Ownership, entrepreneurship, and group economics keep us struggling forever, right? But we need to prioritize long-term wealth over that short-term struggle and really build a community that supports your relationship. Relationships thrive when they aren't isolated, right? So find like-minded black couples, invest in networks, create spaces where black love is nurtured and not drained. Black love is an investment, not just a feeling. And I think that's something our community never considered. They never understood that when you're participating in black and black love, right? And I'm just meaning this from the bottom of my heart. You are investing in the survival of our community, of our ethnic group, of our race, of our journey, of our bloodlines. That's what you're doing, and it's that significant. That's why it's a power move. The American dating model was never built for us, so let's just build one, right? The Black legacy model ensures that both partners gain from the relationship instead of being overworked or used, right? This isn't about who pays the bills. It's about making sure neither of us is struggling, because a black couple really isn't just a love story, it's just a power move.
Ooh, he said the black couple isn't just a love move, it's a power move. That was hard. That was hard. All right. Let's move on. What you see? You see what I see? This is insane. Hold on, let me see something. Let me see if I can push myself to the side. All right, boom. All right. All right. This says Will Smith was arrested and spent an evening in jail as a result of the altercation. Hold on, let me see which one is the top Jane. All right. Let's see. All right. Okay. Will Smith caught an assault charge in the days following his Grammy win in 1989 after a confrontation with record promoter William Hendricks. Hendricks planned on pursuing a lawsuit until his son, Sheldon, got kidnapped by JBN, Junior. What is it called? Is a JBN is short for Junior Black Mafia. Hendricks didn't know what Will was close. Well, excuse me. Hendricks didn't know that Will Smith was close friends with deceased JBN lieutenant and leader Leroy Bucky Davis. Okay. Will was arrested and spent the evening in jail as a result of the altercation. The same night, knowing Hendricks would pursue a lawsuit and Will being in financial issues, despite the Grammy win, Bucky took it upon himself to intervene. Okay. Will would hang out in Philly even as he rose to fame and was often seen with another close friend, Charlie Mack. Charlie was heavy in the streets in Philly during the 80s and became a hip-hop pioneer after being convinced by Jazzy Jeff to leave the streets. William Hendricks and Will Smith had an argument which escalated quickly. Will had strong ties to the JBN as he was a West Philly kid who made it big. Will then turned to Charlie, and Charlie gave. All right, hold on. Let's see, where is that? Dang, I'm sorry. All of this stuff is out of order. Dang, I must have missed it. Okay. Sheldon was released, and allegedly Will paid Hendricks $25K to keep his mouth shut. But it was also said Will didn't have to give him a dime. Hendrix would recant his recollection of the events, and charges against Will were dropped. Will wanted to pursue acting and headed to LA. Was first steps to becoming an actor. The feds began to build a case against JBN, and Bucky allegedly advised Will to get out of Philly. Will didn't have the money he needed to get started in LA, so Bucky gave him 15 grand. All right. JBM spotted Hendrix's son, Sheldon, and told him to get in the car. The then 13-year-old Sheldon complied and quickly realized he was being kidnapped. A JBN lieutenant told Sheldon there was money on his head and to keep quiet. Okay, so that was what I should have said before. This is crazy. Y'all see this? Will Smith was in these streets. Will Smith was connected in these streets. Will Smith. And look at that. Yo, he even looked fly in his police photos. That's crazy. He could have used this as, if he had used this as an album cover, Will Smith would have been the most gangster fucking rapper of the 90s. Are you crazy? What if just think about this. Will Smith could have used this as an album cover and it would have been lit. It would have been crazy. You know what I'm saying? Like, yo, shout out to Will, bro. That's crazy. I know y'all watching this going, why are you shouting out Will Smith for doing some crazy stuff? Well, number one, being a kid that grew up in the city, in the streets. I hate when people say that, the streets. I just grew up in a city, and it just so happened in my neighborhood was in a hood, like, you know what I'm saying, because that's where my grandfather bought a house, and then that's where, when they had kids, that's where they was at. And then I grew up, like, it wasn't like we was like, you know what, we had the choice between the county, the rich side of town, and the hood. You know what, let's just go to the hood. It's one like that. But anyway, you make friends, and your friends make choices. Like, I had friends that were in the streets. I had friends that had jobs. I had friends that went to college. I had friends that, you know, got into altercations and shots was fired, or, you know, they got access to drugs and sold drugs, did drugs. I mean, that's just a part of living in the city. You know, people gonna make decisions. I don't even care. Like, the thing I find amazing is that I can go to the county, I can go to the richest areas, and there's still kids. I've lived in rich neighborhoods, and there'd be kids my age, younger, that still sell drugs, that was still out here in the streets. So, like, I don't understand when people get amazed. Yeah, Will Smith had street connects, and he had friends that sold drugs, and they had a lot of power. And yeah, you get into trouble, and my homeboy gonna kidnap your peoples. I mean, that's just, the game is the game. So, you know, it is what it is, bro. Shout out to y'all. If y'all want to do more research, I found that on Twitter. I thought that was pretty dope. You know what I'm saying? That whole Will Smith story, man. So if you missed it, you know, just go back and you can hear me tell a story from back then. All right, so let's move into some more stuff. Let's get into some CEO talk. Let's do that.
Fuck up. Rule number 1. And the reason why is not to be vulgar. It's because it helped me so much. Because the more you talk, the more you reveal, the more people know, the more you solicit, the more people share with you, the more you get confused, the more indecisive you are, the more. And when I learned to stop, self-regulate, not to shoot my mouth off because I was offended. You can only get offended, first of all, if you allow yourself to get offended. There are times that people are going to cross you and disrespect you. Yes. But, like, how often can you be offended? And also, there's times, like, who cares? Like, I don't have to have everybody's respect. That's another exhausting thing. You need to respect me, and you need to disrespect me. He disrespected me, and I'm Greek. It's a big thing. Like, oh. But that's going to wear you out. Like, and you don't need it.
So fire. Shout out to that young lady, whoever you are. I think she made 2 phenomenal points. I'm a talker by nature, as you can see. I love to talk. I love to have conversations with friends. I love to have diarrhea. I used to love having diarrhea of the mouth, meaning that I would get around people that I fully trusted, that people that I would trust my life with, and whatever came to my brain, I would say out loud. And I got very used to that. And I was like a lot of people, man, when he was like, oh man, whatever come up, come out. That's just what it is. That's who I am. And you make that a defining component of your personality. And it never got me in serious trouble because I knew what not to say around what people or whatever. But there were times where if I had shut the fuck up, could have got way more girls. If I had shut the hell up in certain situations, I probably could have built more relationships. If I had shut the hell up, I could have spent more time learning. I could have spent more time strategizing and taking advantage of things. If I had shut the hell up, I could stop being an entertainer for everybody and focus on just making myself better instead of trying to entertain people to find friendship and validity. Now that I'm older, when I was younger, man, I used to always want to hang with the homeboys. I always wanted to be with the girls. I always wanted to be around people, big crowds, parties, events, whatever I could do. Now I love being by myself. And most of the time when I'm by myself, I ain't saying nothing. If I don't crack this microphone on every now and then, I ain't saying too much. Even on my job, I stopped really talking to my coworkers like that. I got one guy that I work with every day, and we talk. We talk quite a bit, but most of the time, man, when we get on the job and we start working, man, we turn the music on, or I turn a podcast on, and we'll laugh at the podcast, or we might talk a little bit about what the topic is, but for the most part, we just be working. The job site be quiet. We be kicking it, just doing our job, enjoying the content, and then we go home. And the thing I realized is that once I shut the fuck up, I started thinking more. You shut the hell up, you start realizing I don't need to say nothing. I start realizing that the less I say, the more stuff happen positive for me. You know what I mean? Because when you stop entertaining people, people start asking questions, people start offering you stuff, more opportunities come. It's super weird. It's women find a quiet man way more attractive. Of course, they want you to crack jokes and they want you to entertain them a little bit, but for the most part, being a mystery to women is magic. So like that's lit. The other part that she was talking about, man, 1000%, everything she's saying. Shut the hell up, and focus on growing more, being a better person, and then not showing people, controlling your emotions. Self-regulation, so important. That whole feeling of, I know so many people that's like, oh, I can't help it. And this is why it's like, bro, you can't control yourself. You can't regulate yourself. You can't stop yourself. There's nothing that you can't do if you set your mind to it, but you've got to see that it's important to not do it. And then you've got to one step at a time. You might see yourself talking too much. You stop. You start thinking that it's just like change is incremental over time. It's not something you're going to do. Like you're going to say today, all right, I'm not going to be that talkative no more. And then, and then you just stop. But it's like, no, it's that I think the best way I've gotten to it is that I started learning that when people say stuff, not to reply or to think about things before I reply. And then as I started, at least when I added that step to myself to like think about it for a second, then I started realizing a lot of stuff I don't need to comment on. Somebody getting in their feelings and they talking about me or saying something wild. That's what's up. When I started realizing that people's reactions to me don't have nothing to do with me, so it doesn't require me to have a part of it. Yo, fuck you, Jay. Cool. Oh, you just gonna let them talk about you? You ain't talking about me. Or you might be talking to me, but I don't. Why do I need to be a part of it? It seemed like you angry. Deal with that on your own. I don't need to be angry with you. I don't want to be a part of it. And just because you might verbally assault me, does that mean I need to do the same thing to you? We don't have to go tit for tat. That's how you feel. That's how you feel, bro. I wish you the best. Man, fuck you. You a piece of shit. Cool. Wish you the best, man. I hope you find happiness or whatever. You seem like you upset, brother. Hope you can fix it. I'll at you. So, like, yeah, it was fire. Shout out to her. When I saw that clip, I definitely was like, yo, I want to bring this to the show. All right, let's get to some controversy. Or is it controversy? Don't know. Let's go.
Women have the support of a massive group that participates in ratchet behavior and ratchet thinking. Now, white, Asian, and Hispanic, they got ratchet people, but you had to go away from the group to do that. They don't house you. They don't nurture that. The Black community, the massive group accepts it and nurtures it. It's totally backwards. Rather than sending the ratchets away, the massive Black groups bring the ratchets. There's a safe space for them. When they're confronted, you look like the minority because you are the minority that confronts that culture, and they're the majority. This is the only group, this is the culture where the ratchets has the power socially. The nerds, the high value minded people. When I'm talking about high values, I'm talking about pro-social values, generosity, respect, honor, faithfulness, kindness. I'm talking about community. High values your way of being. The people like us, we in the Black community are the rejects. In other groups, the ratchets are the rejects. In other groups, that's for entertainment for them. They go home doing the right thing. The smart people are elevated because they know you're the key to our progress. In our group, the smart ones are rejected and they think you trying to oppress them. It's interesting. You so backwards. You think we trying to oppress you. We trying to free you.
As a nerd, not a former nerd, as a living, breathing nerd, my entire life. The guy that went to private school, the guy whose parents both have master's degrees in education, the guy who was not allowed to talk ghetto in my household, my family's household, who went to college, whom, my parents had computers when we were kids. I have, I just have family values, I was raised to treat women a certain way. I've had this argument 1,000 times and people tell me I'm crazy. And I be like, y'all don't want people like me around. And people like, no, that's not it. That's not true. I'm like, y'all would take, I said right now, I'm 45, about to be 46, right? My resume is long. And when people ask me, can you list your skills between the construction management, the retail management, the retail sales, and then my entire laundry list of technical computing skills from software development. I've built apps, built websites, audio engineering. I learned how to produce music, like from scratch, play music, mixing, engineering, hardware, like software. You would think, oh, I can get a job anywhere. Bro, do you know how hard it is for me to get a job nowadays? But a nigga can get out of jail and get funding and get into programs and go somewhere and somebody help them find a job today. Boom. Get you some money. They get you some housing. They get you help, whether you male or female. You can come out of jail and get help. Now, the niggas that don't get help be the ones that don't want to go to the programs. They don't want to follow directions. They want to come home and then be begging niggas for a job. But that's not how you do it. As a man that has not gone to jail, well, I went to jail for a ticket or whatever. I'm talking about people that did you know, people that did real time, they get way more celebration. And I'm just talking about the job side right now. Let's not talk about the family side. I got family members that went to jail and then they come home, it's parties and get you gifts and, get you clothes. They help everybody surrounding that person to help them. There was not one motherfucker outside of my aunt. It was probably 2 or 3 people that really was like, when I went to college, I'm gonna buy your books. I'm gonna do this. It was like a little bit of this, a little bit of that. But for the most part, once that was set, niggas didn't give a fuck until it was grades time. And then when the grades come, then it's gonna happen. You get 2 minutes worth of discussion. Oh, you got some B's? Oh, yeah, cool. Yeah, all right, that's what's up. Bye. That's it. And then if things don't go right, you ain't shit. If they do kind of go right, all right, cool. But it's really only adds up to what else can you do? Are you going to now get the big 6-figure job? Like, people expect you, when you're smart, they expect you to figure everything out. Like, my parents ask me all of the time, why you not rich? Well, how did they come up with these apps? So you came up with an app. Well, why your app didn't go billions of dollars? Well, you need to do more. What? Hey, I'm like, I got merch. Yeah, I want to get the merch. Oh, yeah, I'll get to it. Yeah, all right, whatever. Zero support. Now, if I was gangster and I shot some niggas and went to jail, oh man, everybody be surrounding me. If I was to exhibit the same skill set that I have now and it would go on and did all the street shit, I'd have been, oh, you the man, Jay. Oh, no. But because I don't have the street jacket on and we ain't talked about dating, I'm not going to do that, bro. How many times? I can't tell you how many times. Countless. I don't have enough hands to count how many times women said, you the type of guy I would marry. The fuck does that mean? Or, oh man, you such a nice person. You a good guy. All right. But you don't want to go out with me? What's up with that? Crazy, bro. Now they'll find the dumbest street nigga, fall in love, get pregnant. The nigga take all their money, take all their shit, fuck their house up, beat the shit out of them, beat their ass, and then call me crying about it. And I'm like, what? But that's neither here nor there. Only thing I'm saying is I'm not the only person that thinks that way. She's not the only person that thinks that way. And if you really want to think about it, bro, how many of y'all are really rallying around the smart black people? How many of y'all are really taking your time to uplift that person, to support that person? Get that nigga some pussy or get that girl some dick. Marry that person. Support that person. Champion them on to better things. We don't. We call them nerds. We talk. You call them cornballs. Y'all make fun of them. Y'all disrespect them. And then it's just like, now, mind you, I didn't get all of that because I'm 300 some odd pounds. So, and I had no problems popping an A in the face. So I probably didn't have to deal with the same ridicule. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I might have, like, sophomore year when I went to St. Francis, that might have been a week of niggas talking shit until one nigga went a little too far. And I had to go upside that nigga head and I started clicking up, because I mean, I'm still from Baltimore. So I already knew how to back niggas down on that shit. But like, there was a lot of dudes around me that were just good guys, bro. Good regular guys. And I would have to protect them because, like she said, black people don't give a fuck about no smart niggas. Don't give a fuck. Don't want you around, until they need you. Yeah, what I mean? They treat you like shit until they need help with a test or they need you to fix their computer or, teach me this because I don't know nothing about it. Because now they see a way they can make some money. Now they want to come fuck with you, but they really ain't fucking with you. They just want you to do some shit for them. And then they toss you back to the side. They ain't inviting you to the party. They ain't coming to hang out with you and really befriend you. Niggas want to use you for what they want to use you for. And that's it. Super sad, bro. But anyway. Let's move on. Speaking of nerds, the king of the hip hop nerds has clicked up with the king of the underworld hip hop. Some people call him Diddy, other people call him, I don't know what the hell they call him, but here's some clips from. I don't know which one is the first one. I don't know which one is the second one. So I'm just gonna upload these and then we're gonna rock out. Let's go.
Real from the front line, you know what I'm saying? JS-1 wicked, wicked, wicked. So you be careful.
Yeah.
We can't do nothing if they, you know what I'm saying? I need you out there, you feel me?
Yeah. I hear you. Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Man, have some fucking fun. We're not having no fun, and then get behind the mic, have some fun, chop up them samples, get back on your headband, vibe,
Yeah.
have some fun, get back to smiling.
Yeah.
These other motherfuckers, they'll waste your time, big.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I
Waste your
understand.
motherfucking time, you know what I'm saying? So put that love in your heart, man, and enjoy yourself, man. When I get out there, man, I'm gonna see you tear down the stadiums. I need to see you back on that stage and actually rapping and performing and everything. I be dreaming of that shit.
Yeah. Yeah, it's time. It's time for me to just grab the mic and get back on. It's like I love music again.
Okay. I know a lot of y'all want to get mad. Man, fuck that nigga. Da, 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 da. Number one, Diddy has so many talents, but one of his number one talents is motivational speaker guy. Yo, Diddy can get anybody pumped up. Yo, he know how to talk that shit. And the thing that attracted me to the clip, because when I first saw it, I was like, all right, let me see what they talking about. You know what I mean? The thing that attracted me to the clip and made me play it over and over again was just like, I miss that, man. I miss Diddy being the motivation for the industry. You know, he'll stir the pot. You know, if he feel like things ain't cracking, he gonna turn up. There's gonna be parties. He's gonna do an event. He's gonna do a festival. I mean, y'all can, we can talk about him and Baby Oil and all of that another time, but can we just have a moment and just remember what it was like when Diddy was in the streets? It was lit. It was lit. There was opportunities everywhere. Think about it. Revolt had music industry, basketball league, award ceremonies. He had just started the Revolt conference. I mean, he was everywhere, and he was putting platforms together so that artists could be seen, so that we could have a great time. The liquor company was popping. He was giving niggas money. They was doing video. I mean, it was just everything was going on. Building a whole new label to put artists out. Who's doing that now? Who's that industry leader? He's a leader in the industry. There is a void in the industry right now because one of the major cheerleaders of hip hop is gone. He's gone. He's behind bars. The person that could pick up a phone and put the fire up under somebody's ass, whether they were signed to him or not, bro. I know y'all want to, fuck this nigga. I know, I hear you. But that motivation, the inspiration, think about it. If you one of them dudes in the game and you just ain't been out in a minute and you might have lost your direction, and then Diddy decide to call you or bump into you somewhere, and he starts speaking that life into you, do you know how important that is behind the scenes, bro? People like him that will be on your ass, and not just on your ass to tell you some shit, but be like, come on, bro. You know, go come out to this and do this. Let me throw some money in your bag. Oh, let's get this shit going. Yeah. And then he just get to putting that energy into you and you moving. I mean, I've heard thousands of stories of people being like people saying that about Diddy. Bro, I ain't know what I was going to do. Da, da, da. This nigga come in, just, flip my whole world upside down. Not sexually, but just on some, giving me that push, like telling me what I needed to hear, giving me that energy. So like listening to that first clip, I was like, man, I mean, it just reminded me of what this person meant to the game and him coming from a genuine, passionate place with it.
I appreciate it.
Yeah, absolutely. I just felt that energy. It's like something was channeling through me. You know how it be when I get in that mode and it's like, you gotta do it.
Yeah.
You got
jumped into your bag, and thanks for the short job look too. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Absolutely, we gotta keep that going. When I got my website, it's ready. They gave it back to me actually.
Uh-oh. Here we go.
Able to hug you and thank you and show you for the rest of your life how much you appreciate it and always be there for you.
Man, thank you, man. Thank you. But I just feel like as a community, like we got to take the responsibility to, you know, just for us, just all us. It's like we a family. Everybody has been taken in by this fame, media, music, everything. Yo, Doug.
Yeah, I thought we was all family, man. I really thought that, though. You know what I'm saying? Right now, you're the only family I got. You're the only family I see. You feel me?
Yeah.
I done always spoke up for everybody, you know? And, you know, I ain't bitter or nothing. I'm just telling you how it is because you're the only one. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So me and you, if you're the only one that came to get me, that's all I can do is say, like, damn. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Every time everybody try to attack us, I'm always riding. And you're the only person that.
Man, this is something I've said in if you follow me, you know I said this on multiple different places, you know, publicly, is that like this man ain't been convicted yet. And the stuff that we saw on camera, I'm not gonna sit here and be like, nah, yo, that's not him, or it's all good. Nah, that shit was wrong, bro. He was wrong, dead ass wrong. And him seeking help, I'm 1000%. But the way we so conveniently and quickly get rid of people, and then like everybody turn their back on you. And I don't care what nobody say, bro. I've seen with my own eyes, I've heard so many interviews and conversations where like he gave people shots, he gave people jobs, he paid people great. And like everybody keeps saying, well, yeah, he pay you good because he wants you to keep your mouth shut. Yeah, but I also heard that he was one of the only places that was paying black people not only what they was worth, but more than what they was worth. And that can't all be in an NDA thing. You know what I'm saying? Is it fear or am I paying you good? Because one breath they saying he was violent towards people and which I'm not taking. I'm not saying he not. But what I am saying is he did. All right, if you want to put fear people house, I know a lot of companies that didn't pay niggas shit and was treating people like shit and not paying them shit. But all of the stuff that he was doing, you know what I mean? And there's a laundry list of positives that Diddy brought to the world. There was so many times that he came to people's defense, that he was loyal to people, that he gave to people. Yes, they're good. There's good and bad in that one man, bro. And even at his worst, he still deserved better than what we gave him and what we're giving him. And what I'm saying, giving him, is not saying to sweep his actions under the rug. I'm not saying that. But what I am saying is we can celebrate the man and we can hold him accountable. We can say, bro, I love you. What I think you did was crazy and I want you to get help. You know what I'm saying? I don't feel like your whole life should be thrown away. Hey, I don't feel like I should not be your friend anymore because I think it's kind of crazy. So are you not calling him because you was never friends and this is your opportunity to get away from him, or y'all only friends because the opportunity was there and he was outside? I don't understand. There was a lot of people that depended on that guy and that he was there for, that he pulled up for. I don't know, man. I would love to have this discussion. If somebody want to throw something out there, let me know. But let's get into this next clip.
Yeah.
It's like being left for dead, D, and only one person coming to do anything to get you. And that's the level of appreciation that I have to you. But just like taking care of my son, that's some like next level big brother shit, D.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You ain't have to do that. But taking my son and like, damn, nigga, coming a big brother father figure to him means a lot, you know?
Man, I appreciate that, man.
Yeah, they out there with no parent and shit, man. These people trying to rock me, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. And the way you are as a father, man, it's just like I look up to the relationship that y'all got. You know, just even.
Yeah.
I just always love the way the connection y'all had, or the connection you got.
I appreciate it, man. Yeah, you helping to give them the love that they need. Just like it just means so much, bro. For real. When I see it in your face, you know what I'm saying?
It's hard to listen to, bro. It's hard to listen to. Let's go to the next one.
Now, I just want to thank you so much for just taking care of my kids, man. Because ain't nobody reach out to them. Ain't nobody call them. You know what I'm saying? Nobody, you know what I'm saying? And that meant so much. You know what I'm saying? That you reached out to them and took them under your wing while I'm in this spot. Man, and I appreciate you. Word up, man.
Yeah, absolutely. I love you so much, man. It's like you raised me even when I didn't know you. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. I feel the love, yeah, for real. I feel the love, for real. It means so much to me. This right here is crazy. You be careful out there because they definitely trying to end us, you feel me?
Yeah.
They can't do it. They can't do it and they ain't going to do it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I'm going to beat this shit and get next to you.
Yeah.
We're going to raise our families and become the kings that we supposed to be, you feel me?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
But words can't explain how much it means to me.
Whew. I don't know, man. I don't know. This is I'm conflicted, bro. I know y'all want me to hate this nigga. I know y'all want me to hate Diddy. And I mean, I don't hate Kanye either. I just think he be doing crazy shit. But this is a complicated man, two complicated men, and really, 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 really unique situations. And as much as I tell people all the time, and that's only because I have a little smidget monicum of notoriety. It's just barely between my two fingernails, and it is very complex to navigate people knowing you and you not knowing them, and going into places and people, wanting to be your friends, and or they say they're your friends and y'all want to do business. People say they want to do, I don't want to do business with you. Let's get together. Let's do this and do that. And then people act weird when you come around. Like it be just, it's not easy to put into words being a public figure, number one, and then having power that can help people and people knowing it. And it's just weird. So with my little slither of nothing notoriety, if that and has made me uncomfortable for years, and you multiply that exponentially by 1 million to be in the space that they're in, they're not going to be normal. And it's a not normal situation to be a part of. And these guys didn't come from affluent families that had all the right information to tell them and all this other stuff. And yes, Kanye might have had a great mom and great information to a certain extent, but none of them could fathom their children, whether it be Diddy's mom or Kanye's dad and Diddy's dad. Nobody could have ever imagined that they would become the men that they are and have to deal with the scenarios that they're dealing with. And then us be where it is. I mean, and those two men being in the space that they're in, it's crazy. It's the only thing I'm going to say, man. I'm going to say to y'all, like, yo, I understand. It's easy to hate. It's easy to be like, man, forget this person. I F that guy. Da, da, da. I get it, bro. I get it. But I wish and I hope that everybody out there, if you watch this, if you made it this far, think three-dimensionally and give people a chance. And yes, we all made mistakes. I got into fights when I was younger. We all did dumb stuff, man. We all got a little wild every now and then. Let me tell y'all something. The 80s and the 90s and the 70s and the 60s were wild times. So just imagine if you grew up so let's say Diddy is in his 50s. I mean, he was born in the 70s, early to mid 70s. Yo, do you know how the family dynamic was back then? How sex was treated, how relationships were built? Bro, it was a different time. So what we're trying to do is hold this 50-some-year-old man to a 2012 to 25-year-old standard. And you're looking at a piece of him from 20 years ago, and you're making a judgment about him now based off of something from a different world back then. Am I saying that he deserves to be set free and all this? That's not what the argument I'm making. But what I am saying is I've watched both of those men grow up in celebrity, Both of those men do a lot of things for the community, and twists and turns are going to happen. And you try, and the only thing I'm arguing is this the best way to treat somebody that's trying to do better, by just completely cutting them off? Is that it? Leaving that man for dead, not even helping his children? I can see you being mad at him, but y'all gonna ostracize the children as well? I think that's weird. So, like, yo, jump in the comments, tell me how you feel. And I'm quite sure some of y'all are gonna have some very animated emotions about it, and I'm down for it. Let's have a conversation. Well, that's enough for tonight. I appreciate y'all. I'll be back Monday. I'm gonna try to get on at 8, but we definitely gonna do this every week. It's your boy JS1, and I'm out this piece.